What up, ladies and gentlemen? Good morning to you. You already know JP with PMP, dropping some seeds to help you grow your business, expand your mind, expand your business. Today's topic, I want to get straight into it, and it's something that's been going on in our company. I don't know if you're, part of our company or not, but I don't know if you're having the same issues. One of the biggest issues we're having is we're getting a lot of cancellations. I know nationwide cancellations are up big time. A lot of that has to do with sentiment in the market, which is the market crash. The war, the high inflation, the high interest rates, and so on and so forth. But one that's new and that's in its early infancy, I would say, is the lawsuit that went down against the NAR, Berkshire Hathaway, C21, Keller Williams, and I think there was another company that was involved in there. And that lawsuit, basically, what it had to do with was with the lawsuit of the homeowners, sellers in this case, saying that there's no reason that they should have to pay for a buyer's commission. And if they hired a listing agent to sell the property, then why do they have to pay for a buyer's agent commission? And the reality is this, for me at least, if you really, really think about this, right? Well, number one, they did win. It is an appeal. They're appealing it, right? It's not going to go without a fight, but they were granted like $1.8 billion. So it's a lot of money. It's a class action lawsuit. What does that mean? It's a lot of sellers got together to sue these companies. And I don't think it was actually the sellers, to be honest with you. I'm 99% sure it was the attorneys who seen a way to make a quick buck and said, let's do it. Because the lawsuit of that magnitude takes a lot of money, a lot of hours, and I'm sure it's several attorneys that are involved to be able to submit that kind of a lawsuit or win that kind of a lawsuit. More importantly, but long story short, focusing on the matter, on the truth of the matter, right? The truth of the matter is, yes, they hired a licensed agent a listing agent, to sell the property. And in their mind, why should I be paying for a buyer's agent? Well, the reality for me is this. If I sit down with you as a seller and my compensation is 6%, that's what I charge. However the commission gets distributed, that's my problem, right? It's no different than if I was to do 3%, just one commission, and if I decide to give 1% or 2% to another agent and keep 1%, well, that's my business, right? Again, and this is also, you can almost relate it to I get paid 3% commission, and I have an assistant, and I pay an assistant X amount of my commission to help me close this transaction. Well, I don't see any difference. But it always comes down to the core problem, and the core problem is always the sellers want a higher sales price, and they always want to pay the least amount of commission, right? So last week and this week, we worked on 15 concern or objection handlers to use when dealing with a seller who says, hey, why should I have to pay a buyer's commission? I don't see any value in a buyer's agent's commission. And, what do I say then? So I think it's going to be a conversation that will be coming up a lot, especially here in the next few months, maybe even years. I think that you have to be prepared to be able to have that conversation. And the way you have to present it, the simplest way to put it together for you is, if I'm charging you $1,000 and I decide to pay somebody, and you agree to pay me $1,000, and I decide to pay somebody $900 to help me sell this property, well, that's my problem, right? It's kind of like when you get offered a referral listing or a referral customer. That agent is charging you 25% of whatever the commission is. Well, it's really nobody's business that you're paying somebody who refers you, right? That's just the way it is in business. But one of the best examples that I gave my agents was this one, and we had 15 of them, but I'm gonna drop one for you. Think about this. Think about these homeowners, right, who won the lawsuit and are excited, right? We're gonna get paid, all right? Well, the question is, when you bought that home, right, the one that you sold and you paid them, when you bought that home, did the homeowner pay your buyer's agent's commission? Sure they did. I'm really sure that they did, because 99.9% of the sales that go down, the seller ends up paying the commission for the listing agent and the buyer's agent. So then the question is, well, are those homeowners that owned the home prior to you, are they due a refund as well? And then what about the ones before them? I mean, it's like a ripple effect, right? You think you won the battle, but you haven't. Because if you're being reimbursed for a commission that you pay when you sold the home, well, when the previous owner sold you the home, should they be refunded? I mean, where does it stop? I don't know. But it's one of those things that just doesn't make any sense, and I don't understand how these people even won this lawsuit. There's really no basis for it. The other one also that's very important is think about most of the buyers that are buying homes right now. The largest portion of buyers are first-time buyers. Largest portion of buyers right now are first-time buyers. First-time buyers are first-time buyers, and 90% of the time, maybe even more, they go in with the FHA, the 3.5% down, because it is the lowest down payment to be able to purchase a home. And in some cases, right, if you're lucky, the buyer will have enough money to cover their closing costs, which is another commission if you really look at it, right? And who's paid for the closing cost? Well, sometimes it's the seller, sometimes it's the buyer, sometimes it's just stacked on top of the price. So it's all negotiable, because closing costs is a commission, and we have been negotiating closing costs since I can remember. So so long story short, this situation of paying a buyer's agent, it's all negotiable. At the end of the day, the sellers want to net a certain amount of dollar, and it is up to you to decide on whether you can pull that off or not, right? Because sometimes we can. Sometimes we deal with sellers that are unrealistic, right? And they're in what we like to call fantasy land, right? So that's something, food for thought for you. Start thinking about that. Start putting some thought into it, because it's going to be coming up, and you got to be prepared for that conversation, because the seller wants to negotiate, and they're going to use any tool to their advantage to be able to get you to lower your commission. And for me, I don't think that is even going to happen, because I'm worth more than an average agent, because I study, because I've been in the business, because I practice this business, right? I flip houses, I own rentals. I made a lot of mistakes, and it's costly mistakes, and these are mistakes that I can help my customers not make. But obviously, I want to be compensated, right? It's just like any other business. That doesn't change. And the last one I'll drop for you real quickly before we hang up here is, if you went to court, right, and it's you versus, you're the defendant, and then you have a plaintiff, would you want to go to court and have your attorney represent both parties? I don't think you would, because, you want to win this, right? You want to win this case. So therefore, you would hire your own attorney. And wouldn't it also be a conflict of interest? Which is a third one for you. There's only 4 states in the out of the 50 states in the United States, only 4 states allow dual agency. The rest of them do not, because it's a conflict of interest. So most of the United States doesn't even allow dual agency. So how could I represent the buyer, even at a 3% commission? It's crazy, right? Things to think about, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, it's Thursday morning. The week is almost over. Tomorrow is Friday, Monday for real estate agents. I hope you're booked. I hope you're ready. A lot of business going down. Transactions are still closing this month. We ended up opening, month of November 2023, we ended up opening 52 new escrows. That was as of yesterday. I closed 2 of our flips properties, so I'm really happy about that. I got 3 more in the works, and we're hacking away to the end of the year, to the last minute, to the last drop. Hope you're doing the same. I'll see you guys on the next one, ladies and gentlemen. Have yourself a fantastic day. Let's make it a positive day. Let's make some money. Take care.
I was a bat out of hell. One look at me, you think that I was destined to fail. 16 with the homies, ended up in a cell. And my crimes got much bigger on a different scale. Used to run around the hood, throwing my name up. Now they can't tame me and can't smoke enough. Man, this shit getting old, must be growing up. Any lesson life was teaching, I was showing up. You know I gotta thank my mama for her holding us down. 4 kids, she a soldier, nothing breaking So many things done changed. Deep rooted with my brothers, they gon' know our name. Told Ricardo, ain't no felon, we gon' kill this game. And if we take a couple losses, we gon' build on pain. See, whatever didn't break us, that's what's making us now. 17 became a father, had a reason to smile. You go hard or go broke, you can't live in denial. I chose one, went dumb and started winning in style. Fast forward 10 years, selling cribs to the people. 5 companies deep, hardest working Latinos. All muscle boy like a 6'5" El Camino. We the Ponce brothers, reppin' San Bernardino. Yeah, we do this for familia. You know, behind every great man is a great woman holding us down. Yeah. And our seeds are the next generation. And we teach them everything we know, so that they may build on what we built, until they all the way up.